Today I'll be looking at a detached home in a particular area to kind of assess what to look out for, what are the pros and the cons when it comes to looking for this particular home. So follow me on this journey. Now, the first home we're going to be looking at for this time around will be a detached home in Port Coquitlam in the neighborhood of Maryhill. Now, this listing is a listing that's fairly old. This was listed back in 2016. So the market does change from time to time, but there's a few information I won't release. So the information I won't release would be the address, pricing, the contact information of the agents and the purchasers, and the registered number on it, so on MLS. Now, come with me to see what I'm going to be showing you. Stay tuned. So this is the listing that I will be in discussion about. Again, these are variables depending on each buyer, what to look out for, depending on what they tell me what is considered important to them. But I will point out a few things as something to put into consideration, whether this is a right purchase for the buyer. So let's get started. So let's talk about a little bit of the qualities of the home that I just showed you. So the age of the home specifically states 9999. So what that means the city actually don't have an accurate age of when the home was built. So usually that means it's a relatively old home. Those things you probably shouldn't. Again, it depends on how big of a concern and whether it's renovated. If it's been renovated, you probably feel it wouldn't be a big deal because it does have its own characteristics, whether it's deemed heritage or not. Now, one thing is you also have to be aware is if it's actually deemed and it should be listed, whether this is an actual heritage home, there's certain restrictions on what you can do with the property. With this listing in particular, it doesn't indicate, so we have a peace of mind that we do have flexibility to do any renovations or do anything with the property and the land itself. Now, let's move on. So with this home, it was renovated back in 2014. So a lot of the major things has been done on this home, which is great. So one thing would be they had a new roof. They had upgraded power. A power panel was upgraded. Why is this important? Because usually the age of homes such as this, a lot of them are using bobs and knobs, which is a bit dangerous because a lot of them can cause fire hazards and it doesn't reach up to standard codes. A lot of the ampage is also very low. Most standard ampages to this day is usually around 100 amps and above, just to ensure a lot of the appliances we're currently use is up to code and it doesn't cause a power surge. And so that's a huge thing. And another thing is new plumbing was done. Usually it's a 1/3 inch pipes, which usually means the fact that it's PEX again, which is an amazing thing to have because a lot of the older buildings or homes actually would be copper or actually plastic, which can cause a lot of issues in regards about how water expands and decompress due to the heat. And so it can cause leaks and actual pipe bursts. Another thing is new windows were installed. Again, windows are really expensive, so having those things already upgraded is a win. New hot water tank and new insulation. Those are there's a huge line of things that has already been done on this home that can give you a peace of mind knowing the fact that you can actually live in this home with peace of mind for at least like 10 to 15 to even 20 years at a time without having to worry about financing any additional costs until later on, depending on how long you're going to be living in this home. Now, another thing would be is the fact that we also have this home really nicely renovated. So it was like it's a brand new home, so you can't go wrong with that. So we'll show you some of the photos in the home to give you a visual of what it actually looks like. So this is actually some of the photos that we have listed on the home. This is actually the back of the home. You can see there's a really long driveway, and also there is really a lot of great greenery and some fruit trees, it appears like. And then another thing is you can see a lot of updates have been done on the home. It has some nice vaulted ceilings, great warmth into the home, plenty of lighting, stainless steel appliances, laminate flooring. You got it. It's actually quite nice. I do like this. Appears to be the main bedroom with the really nice natural skylights, and again built-in closets as well. You can see this bathroom is again updated with a beautiful deep soaker tub, toilet over there as well with a nice vanity. And then this is the second bedroom upstairs, as you can tell, being it vaulted, great for the kids space. Yard in the back as well, covered. As you can see, this is a very long, so it's pretty, has a good amount of depth in here. And the back over here is actually where your car will be located through the driveway. It's gated. In most cases, you're probably looking at the home, entering the home from here. This is the view of the home from the front. So you're facing north because you can see the mountains. Again, I can't tell if there's actually an entryway over here, but perhaps there is. This is the front entrance of the home as well. And then again, another view of the back shot. So it doesn't appear if there is any kind of like walkway. Now that we have a look at the home from just the photos that we reviewed, so let's talk about some of the, I already talked a lot about the pros of the home already. Let's continue on what are the also additional great things about the home. Being the fact that where the location is, it's actually really close in the artery of downtown Coquitlam. It's very accessible to the highway. It's literally minutes away from, to Highway 7 and Highway 1. Also walking distance to downtown, which is such a bonus. And also another thing is it is really connected, literally steps away from the middle school that's walk by. And another thing would be is the fact that it's also steps away from the two bus stops. Actually, there's one intersection from another, one on Pitt River, and the other one is located on Shaughnessy Street. Now, another great thing about this particular location would be the fact that it is facing north and south, so it is a bit cooler in particular about this home, which is also a great win. And the fact that, the location is relatively great, that you have no issues. Now, let's talk about a little bit about this, the negative things to consider, or something that might deter you from it. Again, being on a major road, there is no ability to park in the front of the home because of the fact that there is a restriction. Cars coming through, there is on the streets, the city does not allow any park cars in front. So that means you won't be able to use the front of the entryway very much. Most likely you'll be entering from the back. Secondly, another thing would be is the fact that there is a lot of trees and shrubs in the front of the home. It can be a deterrent for some buyers, thinking that there is a possibility with heavy winds and shade and whatnot, or even pine needles on the roof, it can deteriorate the home significantly. Or there's a possibility of the tree, which is a very big tree, to topple on the home, and that actually scares quite a few buyers and thinking they didn't want to deal with that, especially with insurance coverage and damages that might not cover. Another thing you're probably looking at as a negative would be, again, being on a busy street. It is relatively loud, it is a busy street. You'll be hearing a lot of the buses going through, noises. So pros and cons when it comes to, living on a major street. But that's, and also another thing would be is the fact that it is a 3-level home. There's 2 levels above, and then there's a basement. This doesn't, from what it looks like, there is no mortgage helper on the home. So if you're looking for a mortgage helper and a basement suite, probably there won't be anything available for you to help subsidize in that part if you need that. But again, it really depends on the buyer and what they're looking for. Now, it does say 5 bedrooms, 2 bath, which is actually pretty nice and significant size of a home. So that means, again, I don't know from what it looks like all the bedrooms and bathrooms are on the 2 floors, which is nice and accessible, so you don't have to fight for just one bathroom to be used. As for the basement right there, it appears the fact that it's just a walk-in closet and some laundry space and whatnot, but it is relatively large space, 796 square feet in the basement. You could probably use the space relatively more for your own personal use. Now, that's the only negative thing I've seen in regards. It's a really great spacious home, 5 bedrooms, 2 bath. What can you go wrong with that? And it's actually a relatively large home too. So on the lot, 6,170 square feet. Now, as you see in the driveway, it is a really long yard. So it depends whether you have a green thumb. Really, if you don't mind all that green space to manage, it can be great for kids running around. But if you're not really into that, maybe you might have to put that into consideration, how much yard work you have to maintain. Overall, that's basically what I can see as on this home in regards of how it is from just the footnotes I've seen and research I've done. So yeah, I think overall it's actually a pretty good buy in regards about what you're looking for as a family looking to purchase a home to live. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it, based on what that's being seen. So I would give this home a good buy if you're looking to purchase it, if you could. All right, stay tuned for the next one. Bye.